Hello everyone and welcome to a new PHP programming tutorial. In today's video we are going to talk about MySQL databases. Each XAMPP installation comes with MySQL database, and MySQL database is used by many websites to store information about the users, their customizations, their transactions, and so on. And for content management system, it will store the content of the pages and so on. It has so many uses and it's a very important thing. Today we're gonna look how to create a database, manage it, and quickly see how to connect to it. If you open XAMPP, you'll find there's an option called admin. I'm gonna click this one, and you will see this thing, localhost / phpMyAdmin. If you are using a hosting company, you might probably have phpMyAdmin as well, but it will be a little bit limited. I want to show you something else. If we go here to the folder of I already navigated there to XAMPP phpMyAdmin, you will find there's this index file. It is a PHP source file. If you go, for example, to libraries, you will find these are also PHP files. What you are seeing is a dynamic website or a dynamic control panel for the database. And since it's written in PHP, it means that it runs all in the browser. And since it runs in the browser, it means you can access your database and manage it from anywhere in the world. This is why it's used by many. Anyway, when you open phpMyAdmin, you will see the following. On the left, you will see a list of databases. Here, it will tell you are on which server. So this is 127.0.0.1, which means this is the local host. This is your own server. Now it has a number of databases. If I click here, you can see these are the databases available. So I'm going to create a new database. I will call this PHP. I already tried this before, so I'm just repeating a number of steps. And here, this is I'm using UTF-8 General CI. Basically, you select the encoding that suits your needs, but basically the encoding is telling the server how to store text information. In some cases, if you are storing information like, for example, maybe Chinese, maybe Middle Eastern languages like Arabic or Hebrew, you might need to change the encoding. I see UTF-8 General CI is good enough, but you need to do your own research. Anyway, so I'm gonna create this one. So wait a few seconds, database has been created. And what do we have here? We have here PHP. Now PHP appears and no tables found. So each database will have a number of tables. So I'm gonna create users table and give it a go. So what happens is phpMyAdmin will show me this wizard. So there's gonna be the ID. It's gonna be an auto increment. I mean it's auto increment. It will increase automatically, and usually it means this is a primary key. So you can see here it's showing me the keyword primary, right? So next we have username, and this is gonna be varchar, meaning character varying length. I want it to store up to 100 characters. And we have password varchar 100, sorry, and the job title, and this is also 100. And if I preview this one, what I'm gonna see is the SQL that will generate the table. So I'm gonna save this. So when you press save, the SQL is generated and then executed. Give it a few seconds. There you go. So now in the structure you can see that you have users table, and actually if you go to the left you can see PHP, it has the users table. Now I will go to here, insert, and I will not fill the ID, it will be filled automatically. This is going to be Todd, password 23, he's a programmer, and I press go. So it got executed. I could go to, and this is SQL to insert if you want to write SQL directly. So I could go to insert again. Come on. So here we have Linda 456. She works at HR, and I'm gonna say go again. Right. So another row has been inserted, and so on. And you could, if you want, you could actually execute these commands. So we have Todd, Linda, Smith 456 789, and he's in accounting. Okay, for example, right? So we have we could go here, press go, I mean, and that's it. So I inserted this using SQL, right? So all the things that this management website is doing is converting your input into SQL commands and execute them against the database to get the desired results. Okay, and this is what PHP will be using as well. So let me go to SQL and show you this. I'm gonna select star from users. Okay, so what does select star from users mean? It means get me all the rows from the users table. If I press go, I get the information. So we have 1 Todd 123 programmer, 2 Linda 456 HR, and Smith. Very straightforward. Now this is all good and great, and what we want next is to try and see if we could connect to the database using PHP. To do so, we need a user. PHP need to have an account that will, or to know an account that will be connecting to the database. So let's go to server here and go to user accounts. So I will add a new user account. So here I'm gonna say this is test PHP, right? So the name of this user is test PHP, and this user is gonna connect from localhost, and the password is 123456. 123456. Okay, so now the server knows we are gonna connect using a user called test PHP, right? And here's gonna ask us if we want to create a database with the same name. I don't want to. If there is a database with the same name and I want to grant privilege, no, we have database called PHP, not test PHP. I did this on purpose because I want to show you how to select specific database. Now, the below is the global privilege, meaning if you select, if you give this privilege to the user, they will be able to do anything to all these databases. You don't want to do that. Usually you want to give the user access to one database only to prevent problems if there is a security leak. So that said, I will press go. Now the user has been created, but there is no access to any database. So since this user has been created, I could just come here to database and I select the database I want to give access to. In this case, it is PHP, right? And I will select Go. So it's telling me I'm editing the privilege of user account test PHP, um, which is trying to access the database PHP. So what should he be able to do? He should be able to do a select, insert, update, and delete. Actually, yeah, you could just click this one. Usually you don't want users to modify the structure of the database or have administration privileges. Some cases you want, but most cases you don't. So I would just say go, and that's it. Now the user has access. Now I actually created a simple page in PHP, so I will demonstrate things now. MySQL test, and obviously I did something wrong. So let me see. Okay, so localhost. So I have this file. Oh, wait a second. What was the error? Encode access denied for user using password. Yeah. So let us first just check the code or the permission. Grant access on this PHP localhost. That's awesome. Seems to be right. This PHP localhost. Okay, so test PHP. I'll explain the code in a second, but bear with me, please. Let me refresh. Yeah. So we got the names of the people with their job title in here. So let me explain the code. So I put a breakpoint, and now let us listen to this. There you go. And let us refresh. So what's happening? So let's first, in the code you need to prepare things to connect to the database. So in this case, the server name is being prepared, which is on the same server. Maybe sometimes this would be the IP. Okay. The username we created test PHP. The password, it is 123456, as we said. And the database name we want to access. We gave access to PHP only. This is why we are selecting PHP. And this actually connects to the database. So we create a connection to the database, and these are the details of the connection. Okay, you don't have to worry much about it. And after you try to connect, you will check if there is an error. So if there's an error, the connection would fail. But we don't have this here. Next, we will perform a SQL query. Select ID username from username job title. Actually, this is like select star, right? The same thing we tried in the phpMyAdmin administration page. And yeah, so we execute this, and what do we get? We get, something to tell us about the results. As you can see here, field count 3, number of rows 3. And now MySQL row numbers of result. This tells me how many rows do I have. So we will loop on all the rows. So here we use fetch one row at a time, and then we display the results. Don't worry if you don't understand much of the code for now. We will have a deeper look at this later on, but I'm just showing you that we can access the information in the database using PHP. And to do so, we need to create a user, specify which database to access, and then we ask the database engine to retrieve the information for us from which table. Uh, yeah, and that will be all for our introduction today. I hope you find this useful. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.